Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the 10 hardest hunts in all of Monster Hunter. Endgame spoilers ahead. Before we get started, we post new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring that bell to be notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Burning Freezing Elzelion, Monster Hunter Frontier Z. Elzelion's not a super well-known monster, and their extreme variant Burning Freezing Elzelion is one of the hardest fights in the entire franchise. Even though support for Frontier Z has ended, any hunter who considers themselves worth their salt should at least try this beast. It's the only monster that can use the Burning Zero element, an element exclusive to Frontier Z, and some players would even argue that this is the most difficult fight between every game. Sporting a million health and an enormous amount of damage, this thing took players weeks of planning to take down. Number 9. Silver Rathalos, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Seasoned hunters might scoff at the mention of a Rathalos, but even the base version is dangerous to a newbie. However, this is about the Silver Rathalos, and specifically the old one in Freedom Unite. With more spikes, more flight, and more fireballs, it's also the fastest Rathalos variant when it becomes enraged. While not too threatening, the Silver Rathalos in Freedom Unite hits hard. If you don't have 30 minutes and the strongest equipment, you're not prepared for it. And if you come equipped with only a melee weapon, good luck hitting it while it's in the air. Number 8. Diablos, Monster Hunter. Next up, appearing in almost every single Monster Hunter game since, we have Diablos from the first Monster Hunter. Every single iteration of this monster has been somewhat difficult, and this is amplified even more in the first game where hitboxes were less nuanced and bosses were less predictable. In this game, it's even harder to avoid getting one-shotted, and even if you survive a hit, the Diablos just hit so hard. It won't take a lot of mistakes to get carded by this monster, and you can't rely on screamer pods to easily get it over ground either, so good luck. Number 7. Primordial Malzeno, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. This is the uncorrupted original form of Malzeno before the Curio. Primordial Malzeno is an immensely difficult fight, as it was intended by developers to be hard even for seasoned players. It requires a certain amount of mechanical skill from the player to even be able to keep up with it, and it's a way different fight than the normal Malzeno. This magnificent beast fights in a much more regal and physical manner, but when it's close to dying, the Curio will seemingly take over and give it a power-up. You gotta admit, it looks pretty awesome. Number 6. Zinogre, Monster Hunter Portable Third. Time for us to tackle the Lord of Lightning, most recently featured in Rise and will likely to be featured in Monster Hunter Wilds as well. This lupine wyvern's first appearance dates all the way back to Monster Hunter Portable Third in 2010. Since then, it's been a fan favorite both for its awesome design, but also for how difficult it is to fight. And this is especially true for its first appearance on the PSP, with its lightning charged and agile offense. As Zinogre builds up charge, you've gotta be ready to dodge his lightning bolts or you'll go down in seconds. This one's got bark and bite. Number 5. Furious Rajang, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Furious Rajang is arguably the most aggressive and difficult fight in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, even among the game's apex monsters. Even though it's technically not an apex monster itself, it could be considered one due to its features. And then it appeared pretty often in Guild Quests with insane stats. For these reasons, it required much more preparation than average and a decent amount of skill to take it on. And it's always in rage too, with more speed and attack power than usual, making this Rajang variant an incredibly dangerous fight. Number 4. Hyper Silver Rathalos, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. If you thought the old Silver Rathalos was a challenge, then get ready for the Hyper Silver Rathalos from Generations Ultimate. This game featured a specific enhanced category of monsters known as Hyper Monsters, and they have a pretty sizable increase in speed, attack power, and more dangerous attack patterns. Add in that they have hardened parts that are more difficult to damage, and you have an even more stronger version of an already powerful monster. While you also have the Azure and the Dread King variants, this one is widely considered to be more difficult by the community. Number 3. Extreme Behemoth, Monster Hunter World. It's finally time to talk about the exciting Extreme Behemoth from Monster Hunter World. The Behemoth came to World through a Final Fantasy crossover, and it's already pretty strong on its own, but the Extreme variant is widely considered to be one of the hardest fights in the whole series, and it's undoubtedly one of the hardest in Monster Hunter World itself. Even with optimal gear, you're still not safe from getting one-shotted. It's got strong AoE attacks and elemental damage, and if you get hit by Eclectic Meteor, you'll be carded in a single hit. This leads it to being considered one of World's most formidable monsters. Number 2. Rajang, Monster Hunter 2. Rewinding back to Monster Hunter 2, there's the original Rajang. While some variations of the Rajang are pretty mild, this one is just straight up difficult. It's one of the toughest fights in the series' history, but even more so in Monster Hunter 2. You don't really have room for mistakes because of its sheer speed and damage. It relentlessly attacks you with barely any room to punish it. And in newer games, you just get better movement, but not in this game where it's actually pretty difficult to dodge. Now add multiple attacks that insta-kill you on top. Beating the original Rajang is a true badge of honor among hunters, and it certainly earns itself this spot in the most difficult conversation. Number 1. Alatreon, Monster Hunter 3. Alatreon from Monster Hunter 3 has gotta be the meanest monster in the whole franchise. The fight sports some of the most unique mechanics and is said to be the most difficult encounter of them all. This Elder Dragon keeps shifting between elemental states, which brings a unique gimmick and type of difficulty to the fight, as players have to constantly adapt to its new element. It can also one-shot your entire party with Eschaton Judgment. It's unpredictable, so your reaction speed better be in check. And if you get hit, you won't have much space to recover or heal yourself in time before its next move. If you aren't a master hunter, this fight isn't for you. Which hunt is your favorite? Perhaps an Elder Dragon or a more humble flagship monster? Tell us below if you think it should have been on this list. Be sure to check out these other fun clips from MojoPlays, and if you enjoy our content, leave us a like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.